So, are you staring down the IGCSE Chinese essay and feeling a little stuck? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. In this session, we're going to lay out the complete playbook to get you that A star. And believe me, this is way more than just memorizing words. It's a system for winning the writing exam.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? The clock is ticking, the page is blank. It's a total nightmare scenario. But what if I told you that you could walk into that exam with a game plan already in your head, ready to go?
So what's the secret? Well, it's not about cramming. It's about being smart. It's about having a system. Think of it like this. You're not building a car from scratch in the exam. You're just assembling these high-quality, pre-built parts, like Lego blocks, into an amazing, top-scoring essay, no matter what they ask you.
Here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll grab some powerful idioms for the most common topics. Then, we'll get the master sentence patterns down. After that, we'll cover some crucial rules so you don't lose easy marks. And finally, we'll put it all together. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive right into part 1, getting prepared. We're going to build a small but seriously powerful arsenal of phrases that are going to do all the heavy lifting for you when you're writing.
Here's the thing about these exams. The themes are actually pretty predictable. We call them universal topics. And if you can master the vocabulary for these main areas, you're basically prepared for a huge chunk of any question they could possibly throw at you. It's all about working smarter, not harder.
And what are these topics? Well, they're exactly what you'd expect. Stuff like describing your weekend, talking about school, a trip you took, or one of your hobbies. You know, the bread and butter of these essays. Our goal is to get the language for these totally locked down.
And this is where the magic really starts. We pair these everyday topics with high-value idioms. So instead of just saying, there were a lot of people, you hit them with the idiom for mountains and seas of people. Instead of just saying the food was good, you use a much more vivid phrase like delicious and tasty. These are instant grade boosters that tell the examiner, hey, I really know my stuff.
All right, so now that you've got your power words, you need a strong frame to hang them on. And that brings us to the master sentence patterns. You can think of these as the actual skeleton of your entire essay.
Every great essay needs a solid start, and this pattern right here is your perfect all-purpose beginning. Last weekend my family and I went to, or last holiday my friends and I went to. It's simple, it's effective, and it's grammatically perfect every single time. It just works.
Now the body of your essay, it's really just a sequence of these patterns. You can start by describing the scene, maybe using one of those crowd idioms we just saw. Then you can add a little complexity with an although but sentence. You can detail what you did, and then describe doing two things at once to sound more fluent, like I was taking pictures while I was enjoying the view. See how they connect?
Okay, pay attention, because this is a really big one. Reflection is what separates a good essay from a truly great one. Using a pattern like, through this experience, I came to understand that shows you're thinking on a deeper level. And if you can drop in a relevant idiom here, wow, that's how you really impress the examiner and push for those top marks.
And for the big finish, the conclusion. Every essay needs a clean, strong ending. You absolutely need to memorize this sentence. Just fill in the blank with an unforgettable day or a happy day, and you're golden. It is the perfect sign-off.
All right, so we've got our power-ups and our special moves, but using them correctly is absolutely critical for protecting your score. Fancy language is awesome, but not if you're making simple mistakes alongside it. So let's cover the rules for perfect execution.
This is the #1 most important rule. Seriously, accuracy is always more important than complexity. If you are not 100% sure you know how to use a flashy idiom, don't risk it. It is so much better to use a simple, correct phrase. A simple sentence with no mistakes will always score higher than a complex one with an error. You have to remember this basic structure to avoid some really common mistakes. It always goes time, then location, then the action. So you'd say, I yesterday, at that scenic spot, took pictures. Getting this word order right is a massive signal to the examiner that you know what you're doing.
Here is another pro tip for adding some real depth to your writing. Don't just give an opinion, back it up with a reason. Use this I think, because template. So instead of just saying the food was delicious, try something like, I think the food here is delicious because my mom made it. It shows logical thinking, and trust me, examiners love to see that.
Okay, so how does this all come together? We've got the idioms, we've got the patterns, and we've got the rules. Now let's assemble our A-star essay.
And look at how simple this structure is when you lay it out. It maps perfectly onto that classic 3-part essay you need to write. You use one pattern for your intro, you combine 3 or 4 patterns for the body, and then you finish strong with 2 patterns for a really powerful conclusion. It's a clear, repeatable process you can use every time.
And here it is. This is your blueprint, laid out, plain and simple. This table shows you exactly which patterns to grab for each section of your essay. If you practice building essays on different topics using this exact framework, you'll build that muscle memory you need for exam day.
You know, when you really break it all down, it's not that scary. You don't need to memorize dozens and dozens of things. Just focus on mastering about 6 key patterns. 1 for the opening, maybe 4 for the body, and 1 for the conclusion. That is honestly all it takes to build a complete, coherent, and really high-scoring essay. So, there you have it. That's the Playbook, a complete system to turn something that feels overwhelming into a skill you can actually master. The only real question left is, where are you going to start? Just pick one pattern from this whole breakdown, master it today, and you'll already be on your way to that top grade.